What are chloroplasts? Green plastids. What are chloroplasts are called? Green plastids. Chloroplasts are generally seen in case of green parts of the plants. Green parts of plants. Mostly in case of mesophyll cells. Mesophyll. Leaves. Next. Pericarp of young fruits. Okay? Unripened fruits. Young stems contain chloroplast. Young stems are green in color, you know that. That is, chloroplasts are present in case of young stems. And pericarp of fruits. You see, in case of mango, mango is green initially, then turns into yellow. So that green color, there chloroplasts are present in case of the pericarp, particularly epicarp. Epicarp. So pericarp is divisible into three types in fleshy fruits: epicarp, mesocarp, and endocarp. So epicarp is having chloroplasts. Generally, chloroplasts are observed in these parts. Not all parts of the green plants are having this. Only green parts are having the chloroplasts. Though not all plant cells are having chloroplasts. Keep this in mind. Chloroplasts are not common for all plant cells. Green parts of the plant will have chloroplasts. So that is the one. That is what are mesophyll cells mostly. And next what are epicarp of the particular type of pericarp of young fruits. Next, young stems are also having this particular type of chloroplast. What are chloroplasts? Green plastids. What are chloroplasts? Green plastids. Generally, they are absent in animal cells and Jepamu. Next, so fungal cells also lack a chloroplast. Fungal cells are also lacking chloroplast. Because of that only they are heterotrophic in mode of nutrition. Heterotrophic mode of nutrition of the fungi is due to the lack of chloroplast. Next, chloroplasts are absent in roots. Generally, roots are lacking in plants. Roots are lacking chloroplasts. Okay. Next, epidermal cells. Epidermal cells are also lacking chloroplast. But in case of epidermis, exception is there. Guard cells of epidermal cells are having chloroplast, except guard cells. Except guard cells, all epidermal cells are generally lacking chloroplast. Epidermis of root is not having chloroplast generally. That is absent in case of root. What is the exception here? Some roots perform photosynthesis. In that chloroplasts are present. Generally, roots are not having chloroplasts. So that is Cteniophyllum, you know that. Cteniophyllum, Trapa, Pinospora. These are the name of the plants in which what are present. Roots of these plants are having chloroplasts. Generally, chloroplasts are absent in roots. Generally, chloroplasts are also absent in case of epidermal cells, except guard cells. But epidermal cells of sciophytes, epidermal cells of hydrophytes will have chloroplasts. Exceptional. Generally, epidermal cells are lacking chloroplasts. Generally, epidermal cells are lacking chloroplasts except guard cells. Guard cells present in case of leaf stem will have chloroplast. Remaining all epidermal cells are lacking chloroplast. But in plants like sciophytes and hydrophytes, epidermal cells possess chloroplast. Because light is limiting factor there. Light may not penetrate. Sciophytes means plants growing in shady regions. When plants are growing in shady regions, when what will happen? Light is not available to those particular plants. So, if it is the particular type of plant tissue, if chloroplasts are present here, light could not penetrate, reach this area. Light is not at all reaching the epidermis. If they are present in the deeper tissue, there could be no chance of photosynthesis. That's why chloroplasts are present in case of epidermal tissue, so that minimum available light is absorbed by the plant and they perform photosynthesis. Do you understand? That is in case of pseuophytes. Plants are growing in case of water, that is hydrophytes, in case of deeper areas. Light may not penetrate here. So light is one of the objection here. So that if they contain chloroplast on their surface, they can absorb or trap the light and perform the photosynthesis. Because of these two reasons, epidermal cells are having chloroplast in pseuophytes and hydrophytes. Exception. Generally, epidermal cells lack chloroplasts except rod cells. That is the normal type of condition. Okay now. బయటికే ఉంటాయి, బయటికి ఉంటేనే కదా. ఇది ట్రాప్ వాటర్ లో ఉంటుంది. వాటర్ లో ఉంటే లైట్ పెనిట్రేషన్ వస్తుంది, ఫోటోసిన్థసిస్ జరుగుతుంది. ఓకేనా. నెక్స్ట్ టీనియోఫిలం బయటికే ఉంటాయి. సో ఇది ఎపిఫైట్. టీనియోఫిలం ఇస్ ఎపిఫైట్. టీనోస్పరా టెరెస్ట్రియల్ ప్లాంట్, ల్యాండ్ ప్లాంట్స్. సో ఫోటోసింథటిక్ రూట్స్ పైనే ఉంటాయి, లోపలికి వెళ్ళలేదు లైట్. ఓకేనా. దట్స్ ఇట్. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ ప్రెజెన్స్ అండ్ అబ్సెన్స్ ఆఫ్ వాటర్ chloroplasts. Okay, number we discussed, I think, number of the chloroplasts. More in case of a palisade parenchyma, 1 to many, that is up to 40 are observed in case of a palisade parenchyma. So you know that palisade parenchyma is beneath the upper epidermis. So this question has been asked in NEET many times. Yes, you see, what is the location of chloroplasts in palisade parenchyma? Towards the periphery, just beneath the plasma membrane. Chloroplasts are arranged just inner to the plasma membrane. Why? To trap light easily, not in the deep in the particular type of cell. Do you understand? Light can be easily taken by this particular type of chloroplast, so that the chloroplasts are present towards the peripheral regions, almost near to the particular type of plasma membrane, where in palisade parenchyma, in case of the leaves. So that is what we observe in case of water leaves. Okay, number is a different number of chloroplasts are present, different sizes they are there, different shapes. I told you, I think. Normal common shape is what? Common shape is a disc shape or discoid or oval shape. These are the normal common shape. Apart from this, different shapes are observed. Cup shape in Chlamydomonas. Okay, now disc shaped in Chara. Disc shape. Where do you observe this disc shaped chloroplast? Chara, one of the green alga. Spiral or ribbon shaped in Spirogyra. Cup shaped in Chlamydomonas. So okay, star shaped in Gymnema. Okay, these are all other shapes that are observed. Okay, now. So this data. So inside the chloroplast, what are there? I told you that membrane bound sacs are piled up. Okay, these are all what are membrane bound sacs present in the form of a stack. Stack means what? They are piled up. Means a row of membrane bound sacs are observed. This row of membrane bound sacs are called as granum. What is it called as? Granum. What is it called? Granum. Granum is nothing but a row of thylakoids. What is it? Row of thylakoids. Row of thylakoids is called as granum, singular. So many granum are together called as grana. Grana means plural. So the total number of granums in a chloroplast is called as a granum. Okay, now. So in case of a granum, number of thylakoids varies. When you see this particular type of thylakoid, it is a membrane bound sac. This is the thylakoid. The inner side, this space, inner space of thylakoid is called as lumen. What is this? Lumen. So it is a membrane bound sac. That's what I told you. Inside this, what are their pigments are present? What are these pigments are present inside this particular type of thylakoid? These are all photosynthetic pigments. So these photosynthetic pigments. These photosynthetic pigments includes what photosynthetic pigments are? Chlorophylls and carotenoids generally observed. What type of photosynthetic pigments are observed? Chlorophylls and carotenoids. First one in Japamo. Chlorophyll. Chlorophylls are what the chief photosynthetic pigment. What is chief photosynthetic pigment? What is chief photosynthetic pigment? Chlorophyll A. What is this chief photosynthetic pigment? Chlorophyll A is the chief photosynthetic pigment in all photosynthesizing organisms, except bacteria. Except in bacteria, in almost all photosynthetic cells, including blue-green algae. Blue-green algae and all plants will have chlorophyll A as a chief photosynthetic pigment. So this chlorophyll A is Angibaum, the formula Angibaum C55 H72 O5 N4 Mg. Chlorophylls are chemically Angibaum chemically porphyrin compounds. Chemically what are they? Are porphyrin compounds. Okay. So chlorophyll structure, when you see the structure of chlorophyll, it has head, second tail. Head is a tetrapyrrole head. Tetrapyrrole head. And a phytol tail. What a phytol tail. So there is a tetrapyrrole head and a phytol tail. How many pyrrole rings are there? 4 pyrrole rings are there. In this particular 4 pyrrole rings, what is acting as a central atom? Magnesium acts as a central atom. That's why it is called as tetrapyrrole. This is 1 pyrrole ring, second, third, and fourth. 4 pyrrole rings are there in the structure of head of the chlorophyll. It is just like a tadpole shape. This chlorophyll is just like a tadpole shape. Okay now. So this is a tail that is attached. This tail is phytol, alcohol tail. Phytol tail. Okay, what is this? Alcohol tail. Okay, that is the structure of a water chlorophyll. So tetrapyrrole head and a phytol tail is observed in the structure of chlorophyll. This is the general formula of this particular type of chlorophyll A, which is generally called as a universal or a chief photosynthetic pigment in almost all photosynthesizing organisms except bacteria. Okay. Next, this is the most common type of chlorophyll that is observed. Next, chlorophyll B, C55 H70 O6 N4 Mg. That is chlorophyll B. What is it called? Chlorophyll B. What group is present? Aldehyde group. There, methyl group. Okay now. Here the group is methyl group in case of the second carbon of the pyrrole rings row. The what group is there? Aldehyde group is there. That's why there is a slight variation in case of the formula. Okay now. So 2 more hydrogens are more. Here 1 oxygen is extra. So that is the one what we observe in case of chlorophyll B and A. Next, this particular type of chlorophyll A, B, what are the elements present in case of elements? So elements present in chlorophyll structure asked 3 or 4 years back. I don't remember the exact year. So the same question is asked. What are there? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, magnesium. Okay, how many? 5. So number of elements present in the structure of chlorophyll. How many? 5. So 5 are observed. That is what we observe in case of that. That is what the chlorophylls. Okay, now chlorophylls are present where? Inside the thylakoid membrane. Inside the thylakoid membrane in the lumen almost. In the thylakoid. Here pigmented portions. Next. So inside the chlorophyll there is a particular type of complex. This complex is called as OEC. Oxygen evolving complex is present inner side of the thylakoid membrane. What is that? Oxygen evolving complex. What do you mean by oxygen evolving complex? That releases the oxygen. How could it release the oxygen? This is because of photolysis of water. What is this? Photolysis. Breakdown of water in the presence of a light with the help of the complex called as a oxygen evolving complex, which consists of manganese, calcium and chlorine. This particular type of oxygen evolving complex is having manganese, calcium and chlorine at a ratio of 4:1:1 that helps in case of photolysis of water. How many elements are involved in case of photolysis of water? And 3 elements, that is manganese, calcium and chlorine. So you might have studied this in case of mineral nutrition. Elements helps in case of photolysis of water, release of oxygen during photosynthesis. They are nothing but manganese, calcium and chlorine. They help to release breakdown of the water in the presence of light, and water is released. Sorry, oxygen is released due to the breakdown of water. I told you one thing. If you are asked to define photosynthesis in 2 steps, one is oxidation of water and reduction of carbon dioxide. I told you that is what happens here. That is what water get oxidized into oxygen. That is helped by this complex. Which complex? Oxygen evolving complex, which is associated with these elements: manganese, calcium and chlorine. So manganese, calcium and chlorine associated with the OEC, oxygen evolving complex, which is present inner to that of the thylakoid membrane, helps in case of a breakdown of water and release of oxygen during light reaction of photosynthesis. During light reaction of the photosynthesis. Where do you find this particular type of release of oxygen? In daytime, during daytime. That is light reaction. So during light reaction only what is observed? Energy is formed. What assimilatory power in the form of NADH2 and ATP. This is called as assimilatory power. That is formed during light reaction, which is useful in case of dark reaction. You know that in photosynthesis 2 reactions are there. One is light reaction, the second one is dark reaction. So light reaction is light dependent, always depends on light. Dark reaction is light independent, that occurs even in the presence as well as in the absence of light. So that it's not dependent on light. What reaction? Dark reaction. But light end products of light reaction are required for a dark reaction. That is nothing but ATP and NADPH2. These are what we call it as assimilatory power. Assimilatory power generated during light reaction are the driving force for a dark reaction in conversion of carbon dioxide into carbohydrate. Okay, now. So this is all light reaction. We are talking about the light reaction. Light reaction components are the grana. Grana is the site for the light reaction, and inside the grana also the pile of thylakoids are observed. So one thylakoid we have separated. This thylakoid is a membrane bound sac-like structure. Inside that particular type of inner to that of thylakoid membrane, that particular part is called as a lumen. What is it called? Lumen. So these are consisting of pigments. Pigments involved in case of photosynthetic process contains both the chlorophylls as well as the carotenoids. But in some particular type of algal forms, extra pigments are also present. They are called as phycobilins. Phycobilins are present in some algal cells. That is also involved in case of photosynthetic pigment along with the in the inner membrane of inside of this thylakoid membrane. So in addition to that, what is observed? IEC observed. OEC is associated with certain minerals which help in case of hydrolysis of water and release of oxygen. Okay. So inner side of the thylakoid membrane, what is observed? PS2 is observed. PS2 is located here. PS2, photosystem 2. Okay. When thylakoids are piled up like this, so this side is focused to stroma. This side is focused to stroma. This side is focused to stroma. This side is focused. And all the 6 sides are focused to stroma. Listen here. Look here. This is piled up of thylakoid center. This side is in contact with the stroma. This side is in contact with stroma. This side and this side also. The 4 faces and the top and the bottom. All the 6 sides are in contact with the stroma. You understand? That is the area what we call it as non-oppressed region. What is it called as a non-oppressed region? This region is called as non-oppressed region having PS1. What is this? PS1 is present in case of non-oppressed regions of thylakoids, and which is exposed to the stroma. The part of the thylakoid that is exposed to stroma is called as a non-oppressed region. Reverse is called exposed, non-oppressed. Exposed, oppressed region. You got it or not? 4 books. So think that each one is one thylakoid. Each one is a one thylakoid. Chudra. Each one is called as one thylakoid. Listen carefully. These are present there in a chloroplast, in the lumen of the chloroplast. That means what you say, matrix of chloroplast. So this is the side which is exposed to the stroma. This side exposed. This side exposed. This side and all 4 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the sides are exposed. So these sides are called as non-oppressed regions. And the side which is not exposed here. This is not exposed to the stroma. That is called a oppressed region. That is called as a oppressed region. Oppressed region is the region where that is not exposed to the stroma. That is the region where you could see the PS2. PS2 is present in case of a non-oppressed region. So non-oppressed means what? Oppressed. What is oppressed? Oppressed means not exposed to. No. The grana, part of the grana that is not exposed to the stroma is called as a oppressed region. This oppressed region contain PS2. PS2 is associated with the non-cyclic electron transport. PS2 is associated with the non-cyclic electron transport. PS2 is associated with the release of oxygen. Non-cyclic only oxygen is released. But also what occurs in case of non-cyclic electron transport or non-cyclic photophosphorylation. In case of cyclic, only PS1 is involved. There are 2 type of light reactions, PS1 and PS2. So the pigment systems are 2, PS1, PS2. In case of cyclic transport, only PS1 is involved. In case of non-cyclic, both photosystems are involved. PS2 and PS1. I wanted to let you know the location of PS1 and PS2. You got it now? So PS1 is located in between the thylakoids, means junctions, or the area that is exposed to the stroma. is the group. These are the thylakoids. Okay. Again, these are thylakoids. This is PS2 area, isn't it? This is PS1. PS1. Okay. These are the intergranal thylakoids. What are these? Intergranal thylakoids. Here also you could see only PS1. Why? They are completely exposed to stroma. Here also it is exposed to stroma. What could be present? PS1. Here also PS1. 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 So in the inner portions and inner in between the particular type of thylakoids only you could see the PS2. So that you will be knowing the location of PS1 and PS2 in grana. So what is grana? Thylakoids piled up and forms a structure that is called as grana. Grana is the site for what? Light reaction. What happens in case of light reaction? Light energy is converted to chemical energy. That's why I told you that this particular type of chloroplast is called as a energy transducing cell organelle. I told you or not? Energy transducing cell organelle. I told you. I think so. So this is along with the mitochondria. Mitochondria also transfers energy from one form to the another form. Here also it transfers the energy from one form to the another form. So that these are the two examples of energy transducing particles. What are these? Energy transducing particles are chloroplast and mitochondria. I wanted to know the locations of, I wanted to let you know the locations of PS1 and PS2. What is oppressed and what is non-oppressed? What is grana? What is thylakoid? What are present inside the thylakoid? What is the location of OEC? What is the location of PS2? What is the location of PS1? What are intergranal thylakoids? The thylakoid membrane that is present between the, so connecting the two granum, intergranal thylakoid, that is stroma thylakoid. That is also called as Fret membrane. These are all the three names for this particular. So which is connecting two particular type of granule structures. Both the granule structures are connected by a membrane-like structure, that is what we call an intergranal or Fret membrane or stroma thylakoid or stroma lamina. Next, this is all right reaction regarding that. Next, this matrix is called as stroma. What is this called? Matrix is called as stroma. This stroma is the site of a dark reaction. Site of dark reaction is nothing but a what is this? Site of dark reaction is nothing but water. Stroma. Now this stroma is consisting of a Rubisco. It is nothing but an enzyme. What is this? It is involved in case of carboxylation. Carboxylation is a particular type of reaction that is occurred by this particular type of Rubisco is involved in case of carboxylation reaction. Rubisco is said to be the most abundant protein. Most abundant protein on the earth is nothing but called as a Rubisco. Why? Rubisco is an enzyme. Enzymes are generally proteins. Enzymes are generally what are proteins? Enzymes are chemically proteins. Very few are non-protein enzymes like ribozyme. ZYM. Ribozyme is a non-protein enzyme, but majority of the enzymes are protein in nature. So Rubisco is the most abundant type of enzyme in the form of protein. Hence, it is the most abundant type of protein on the earth. It is nothing but a Rubisco. So stroma is the site for what reactions? What reactions are? Dark reactions are observed in case of the stroma. Site of a dark reaction. What is the most common type of enzyme that is involved? Rubisco. All the particular type of all the dark reaction enzymes are located in stroma. So dark reaction is not only catalyzed by the Rubisco, only carboxylation is catalyzed by the Rubisco. So you might have seen so many particular type of enzymes in stroma. In C3 cycle, you might be observing different type of enzymes, trans-ketolases, aldolases. Okay. So next, phosphatases. So many enzymes are there. All enzymes of dark reaction. So, site for the dark reaction. And all enzymes in stroma. All enzymes of dark reaction are located in a stroma. So center of dark reaction. Next. Apart from that, next some of the particular type of ribosomes. 70S type of ribosomes or C. 70S what are ribosomes? Next. Double stranded circular DNA. Single DS means double stranded circular DNA. Single molecule of what is present? Double stranded circular DNA is present. Normally DNA must be in eukaryotes, chromosomal DNA is not circular. The DNA present in a mitochondria and the DNA present in chloroplast are circular. So one more point, 70S ribosomes present in eukaryotes. Located in cell organelles. Not direct in cytoplasm. Okay, what is this or not? They are not directly present in the cytoplasm, they are present in the cell organelles. Not direct exposure to the cytoplasm. This is the most important and frequently asked question. Which of the following cells 70S ribosomes are present in a cytoplasm? That is prokaryotes. 70S ribosomes are present in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. But the location of 70S ribosomes in cytoplasm directly in means only prokaryotes. In case of eukaryotes, they are present in the cell organelles. So, as ribosome is one cell organelle and it is present in another cell organelle, that's why it is called as cell organelle in a cell organelle. So, next, apart from this, the single molecule of double stranded circular DNA and ribosomes. Next, one more is also observed, that is that is the RNAs. So RNA is observed this. Three types of RNA is present. Three types of RNAs are there. Three types of RNA. rRNA, mRNA, tRNA. Three types of RNAs. Next, ribosomes. Next, circular double stranded DNA. Presence of these three, it resembles like prokaryotic cell. So prokaryotic cell, when you see the prokaryotic cell is having circular DNA, ribosomes and RNAs. So you can consider this as a prokaryotic cell. It is present in eukaryotic cell. That's why you can call it as a cell in a cell. So this particular chloroplast is also called as cell in a cell or a prokaryotic cell in a eukaryotic cell. So a prokaryotic cell in a eukaryotic cell or cell in a cell. And you can give one more, just listen up. So as three types of RNAs are there, ribosomes are there, circular DNA is also there. They can perform protein synthesis, isn't it? Okay, what are required for protein synthesis? RNA first, mRNA, ribosome and DNA. DNA makes a copy of RNA. Next, ribosomes are attached to the RNA. tRNA will bring the amino acids to that. So protein synthesis is possible inside the chloroplast and mitochondria. So they can live some type of life. Hence they are called as semi-autonomous cell organelles. Semi-autonomous. What are they called? Semi-autonomous cell organelles. Okay, what are they called? Semi-autonomous cell organelles. So they resembles the prokaryotes. They can be called as cell in a cell or a prokaryotic cell in a eukaryotic cell. As chloroplasts are involved in making food for all the particular type of making food for the universe almost. Okay now. So as chloroplasts are involved in case of making food, they are involved in case of making food. Hence they are called as cell's kitchen. Cell's kitchen. What is cell's kitchen? Chloroplast is called as cell's kitchen because food has been manufactured in a chloroplast through photosynthesis. Food is manufactured in a chloroplast through a process of photosynthesis. Hence it is called as cell's kitchen. Okay, the cell's kitchen. It is what type of cell organelle? We call it as a anabolic cell organelle. It is called as a anabolic cell organelle. What is it called? Anabolic cell organelle. What do you mean by anabolic cell organelle? It is involved in case of making food. That is where simple materials have been converted to complex. Simple material are involved in case of construction of complex substances by using. Is it under the? Tip given by Ashwant, followed by the ordinary person. Hey, Nizanga, don't order. Jogi order, Nizanga, you are expert in it. You have experience. That I will accept. Oh, I don't have any experience. I can ask you. If I am not knowing anything, I don't feel shy to ask, to learn. You should be like that. In case of the things what you are known. నాకు తెలుసుకోవాలి అంతే కదా, మనకు తెలియనప్పుడు హెచ్చు చేయకూడదు అంతే కదరా. అది దీని గురించి కొత్త తెలియదు కాబట్టి సో ఐఎమ్ లెర్నింగ్. తప్పు లేదు అంతే కదా, తెలుసుకుంటే నేను చేయగలుగుతాను. సరే, థ్యాంక్స్ టు యశ్వంత్ జీ. జీ అంటే గారు అని హిందీరా. యశ్వంత్ జీ, స్వరూప్ జీ, పవన్ జీ. పవన్ జీ ना, रमेश जी और बंजर जी, भरत जी, सुमन जी का, सुमन जी, चंडी जी, इतना और शाही जी, इतना అదే ముద్దు వచ్చినప్పుడు అలా పిలుస్తాం మామూలుగా సాయి తర్వాత వీడు చందు చందు హరీష్ అమరేందర్ అమర్నాథ్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ చాలా వరకు రోజులో మొత్తం కన్ఫామ్ అవుతుంది పేరు ఓకే మంచి వీడియో రానిచ్చాను చెప్పేది ఇక్కడ రాదేవరా So this is about water chloroplast. So different things we discussed under this particular chloroplast. Okay, plastids nunchi start chesam మనం plastids. Plastids are three types based upon the type of pigment present. Leucoblast, chromoblast, chloroblast. Leucoblast are what? Leucoblasts are what? Colorless plastids generally located to the deeper tissues, mainly meant for storage of food and based on the type of food stored, they've been categorized into three. First, amyloblast that stores the food in the form of starch. Alluroblast that stores the food in the form of alluroblast in the form of proteins that is observed in the seeds of pulses. Next, helioblast that stores the food in the form of oils and fats. Oil-eating seeds, castor seeds that is next groundnut seed that gives oil. So they are mostly water, so lipid rich. They are mostly lipid rich. So that is the particular type of water leucoblast. Next, chromoblast. Chromoblasts are called as color plastids. Generally, they does contain carotenoids. Carotenoids are the colored pigments that are present in different type of parts of the plant body. Particularly, they are present in chloroblast, chromoblast. In addition to that, regions, when you go the regions of water, so mostly in case of fruit walls. Fruit walls are turning into different type of colors you see. Mango initially green and the fruit wall turns into yellow. And some fruits in case of tomato, initially it is green, then turns into yellow, then to red. These are all the color changes mostly because of chromoblasts or carotenoids. You see the color of the particular type of carrot is because of carotenoids. So these are carotenoids, non-water insoluble, lipid soluble pigments. So they are formed in the form of beta carotenes that are observed in a carrot, lycopene in tomato. These are the examples of carotenes. Carotenes are a part of carotenoids. Carotenes import generally what? Orange to red color. Orange to red color. Carotene formula C40H56. They are hydrocarbons. What is the precursor of vitamin A? Beta carotene. Where do you find this? In carrot. Carrot, that is beta carotene, is the most common type of substance that what we observe. So that when you cut the carrot and place in water, no color is observed because there is water insoluble. Carotenes are water insoluble. The color of the carrot is also because of water. The beta carotene, which is nothing but a carotene. Lycopene, the color of tomato, is because of another carotene called a lycopene. Okay. Next, these are like carotenoids are auxiliary pigments. They protect the chlorophyll A in the reaction center. Chlorophyll, I told you, chlorophyll A is in the reaction center. This is chlorophyll A, PS1, PS2, chlorophyll A. This chlorophyll A has been surrounded by many particular type of pigment molecules. These are carotenoids, isn't it? Carotenes, xanthophylls, chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. But what they do is these auxiliary pigments absorb light first. They absorb the light first and transfer the light to the reaction center. Do you understand? So chlorophyll A, single chlorophyll A molecule is present in the reaction center that has been surrounded by auxiliary pigments. If it is direct, chlorophyll A's light is focusing produced or accepted by chlorophyll A directly, that leads to photo bleaching and photo oxidation. So to protect this auxiliary pigments helps preventing the photo bleaching and photo oxidation of chlorophyll A in the reaction center. That is the work of these auxiliary pigments. Next, another thing is called as xanthophylls. Xanthophylls are also importing brown to yellow color. So xanthophylls are oxygenated hydrocarbons, I told you. What are they? Oxygenated hydrocarbons. C40H56O, C40H56O2, C40H56O6. That is fucoxanthin. Fucoxanthin is one of the pigment observed in case of the brown algae. The color of the brown algae is because of fucoxanthin, I told you. The color of the brown algae is because of the fucoxanthin. Fucoxanthin is an example of xanthophyll. It comes under carotenoid. One of the carotenoid is xanthophyll. Xanthophyll example, fucoxanthin. Import brown color to brown algae. Brown color to brown algae. So they are present in case of leaves, import different type of colors. They are present in case of petals and importing different type of colors. Flowers to different type of color petals are observed. This is all because of carotenoids and some other pigments. Carotene xanthophylls, they are playing a vital role in case of that. Coloring of the particular petal and the seed coat, fruit walls, these I told you. Okay. So they are auxiliary pigments. Next, chlorophylls. Chlorophylls, chloroplast, green plastid, different steps I told you. I think. Okay, now double membrane mold, outer membrane permeable, more permeable, inner membrane less permeable comparatively. Gap, periplastidial space. Gap is called as a periplastidial space. Outer to that, inner to that is a water stroma. That is called as matrix. Stroma is consisting of membrane monocytes piled up. That is called as granum, and granum, plural of granum is called as grana. Grana is the site of light reaction, or photosynthetic light reactions are observed in case of the grana. Okay, so granas are connected by a membrane that is called as intergranal thylakoid. That is also called as fret membrane, also called as stroma lamellae. So the parts of the grana that is exposed to the thylakoids to exposed to the stroma is called as a non-appressor region, where there is a location of PS1, and the part of the water thylakoids that are not exposed to the stroma are called as appressor region, site of PS2. Okay, inside the thylakoid membrane, pigments are present. Okay, so next, chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, along with water carotenoids are also present. In case of certain algae, phycobilins are also present. Okay, so next, that is the site for water reaction, light reaction. So inner side of the thylakoid membrane, what is present? PS2 is present. Inner side of the thylakoid membrane, OEC is present. OEC is the main particular complex involved in photolysis of water, having helped by manganese, calcium, and chlorine. Helped by manganese, calcium, and chlorine. Okay, now, so at a ratio of 4:1:1. So that is the ratio. These elements helps in case of releasing of oxygen during light reaction. Okay, what acts as a here ultimate hydrogen donor? Water acts as a ultimate hydrogen donor. Thus, oxygen is released. Next, outside the particular type of one is called as what do we call it as stroma. Stroma is the site of dark reaction. All the enzymes involved in case of dark reaction. Dark reaction is what? CO2. CO2 is converted, reduced. Carbon dioxide is reduced to carbohydrate. That is the simple dark reaction. So carbon dioxide is reduced to carbohydrate. So what is required here? No light is required. Light dependent work, light independent reaction. But what is required? The end products of light reaction. End products of light reaction. What are the end products of light reaction? NADPH2. Okay, now next ATP. These together called as assimilatory power. What is it called? So assimilatory power is produced during light reaction. That is useful used in a dark reaction to convert carbon dioxide into carbohydrate. That is the main reaction. What is the most common type of enzyme involved in a? This is a Rubisco. And enzymes of C3, C4 cycle, particularly C3, are located in the stoma. When you go for a C4 cycle, the mesophils are having what a pepcase in place of a Rubisco. C4 low mesophil cells having what a pepcase. Pepcase means PEP carboxylase and a phosphoenol pyruvate carboxylase present in only C4 plants and CAM plants, not in C3 plants. C3 plants, C3 cycle. C4 plants, C3 cycle, C4 cycle. CAM plants, C3 cycle and C4. So what is common? C3 is common and it is the only cycle through which carbon dioxide is reduced to carbon. In all type of plants, whether it is C3 plant or C4 plant or CAM plants, the most common type of cycle involved in conversion of carbon dioxide into carbohydrate is nothing but a C3. Okay. C3 cycle, what is the main enzyme? Rubisco. Carboxylation, initial carboxylation is catalyzed by Rubisco. Rubisco is the most abundant type of protein on the earth. So that is the most important. In animals, collagen. Normal, if you take only animals, collagen. On the surface of entire earth, Rubisco. What is it? Originally enzyme. Enzymes are made up of proteins. So that this is the one. Okay, now next. After this, we go to another particular type of cell organelles. That is what the next endomembrane system. We go for the next topic that is called as a endomembrane system. So endomembrane system is comprises of membrane bound cell organelles, membrane bound cell organelles. How many membrane? Single membrane bound cell organelles. Okay. To work together or their functions are coordinated. So the cell organelles in which their functions are coordinated. Okay, now such particular type of system is called as a endomembrane system. The functions of the cell organelles are coordinated. There is a coordination in the function of cell organelles. Such type of functional coordination is observed in certain cell organelles. So a relation is there in case of these cell organelles. All 4 cell organelles in which their functions are connected. Such type of cell organelles are grouped under endomembrane system. Do you understand? These particular type of cell organelles, suppose cell organelles like mitochondria, chloroplast, work independently. Work independently. No coordination between these. They are independent cell organelles. They functions independently. Not associate. The function of this particular type of mitochondria is not associated with the chloroplast, or chloroplast function is not associated with the mitochondria. But here, some of the cell organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex. Next, lysosomes. Next, vacuole. So it is membrane bound space, not the cell organelle. The functions of these cell organelles and a membrane bound space, all four have some link in case of their functions, or they are linked in certain type of functions. Hence, they are called as a endomembrane system. The functions of those cell organelles which have coordination, such type of coordination observed in certain particular type of cell organelles and their functions, such system is called as a endomembrane system. That is called as an endomembrane system. What are the cell organelles involved in endomembrane system? Endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes, and a membrane bound space called as a vacuole. These are the four things that are associated: endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes, and a space of the membrane inside the cytoplasm. Membrane bound space in cytoplasm are four interconnected in their functions. That's what we call it as a endomembrane system. Next, out of this, the first one is called as a endoplasmic reticulum. So, endoplasmic reticulum. So, as the name is a reticulum, is nothing but a network. It is a network. The structure is in the form of a network. Why? It is named as a reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. Generally, in case of this is present in case of the endoplasm associated with what? Nuclear membrane. Okay. This reticulum is present in case of endoplasm. And endoplasm means inner cytoplasm is called as endoplasm. And it is in the form of a network. Hence, it is named as a endoplasmic reticulum. Do you understand? It is present deep in the first initial beginning is deep in the cytoplasm, which is called as endoplasm, and it has been associated in the form of a network. Hence, it is called as a endoplasmic reticulum. So, it is a network of lipoproteinaceous tubules that forms a network. Lipoproteinaceous tubules, they just forms a network inside the cytoplasm. That is not called as, that is called as a endoplasmic reticulum. These tubules are made up of proteins like tubulins and filaments. Microtubules and microfilaments are there in the structure of water. Endoplasmic reticulum. It is a tubular network. It's a simple it's a tubular network present in the cytoplasm. That is what we call it as a endoplasmic reticulum. This endoplasmic reticulum, so just what they do is they just divides the cytoplasm into two compartments. Cytoplasm is divided into two compartments because of endoplasmic reticulum. So the cytoplasm inside the endoplasmic reticulum, that is called as a luminal. What is it called as a luminal? And outside extra luminal. Luminal cytoplasm means the cytoplasm present inside the endoplasmic reticulum network. The cytoplasm of endoplasmic reticulum network is called as a luminal, and outside that is called as a extra luminal. So cytoplasm is compartmentalization. Compartmentalization is seen in case of cytoplasm because of endoplasmic reticulum. So that is luminal and extraluminal. What is it? It's a network of tubulin proteins. What is this? Tubulin proteins. What is it? It is made up of water, lipids and proteins. Lipoproteinaceous tubular network inside the cytoplasm starts from the outer membrane of the nucleus and extends up to the plasma membrane. Such a network is nothing but called as a endoplasmic reticulum. So that is what we observe. It was first identified by the person called as a K.R. Porter. K.R. Porter was the man who was involved in case of this particular type of one. Okay. Next. Luminal. Luminal అంటే inside the mito network ఉంది కదా చూడండి. This is mitochondrial network ఇదంతా. Sorry. So endoplasmic reticulum. దీని లోపల ఉన్న సైటోప్లాజం అంతా luminal. దీనికి బయట ఉన్నదేమో extraluminal. అంటే inside these tubules. That is luminal. Outside is extraluminal.